Welcome to the Dragon's Library. Today we are going to be talking about the good and the bad and the ugly of the Wuwa anniversary. What do I think they did phenomenal about it? How are the rewards? And what are the one or two things I think they should still add if they have the opportunity to? But of course, I don't know the back end of Kuro and whether or not these are even options at this point. So, first of all, let's go ahead and talk about the characters, their weapons, what we know so far. So, as far as we can tell, she is a Glacio Chafe character based on the token that was in this patch. They put a token into Whimpering Wastes that buffs Glacio Chafe, and we can also now see her Echo set in the game, which is down here. This is her new Sonata set, the Glacio Chafe Sonata set here. And then this is also a good add because this not only works for Liberation Glacio Chafe, this also doubles as whoever her premier DPS is going to be. This also works for her. And then this one, we don't really know the user of it yet, but we think it could be Denia's alternative because she's a pyro character. We already have a good idea of what her Sonata set's gonna be. It's gonna go ahead and be the Chromatic Foam Echo set, but that's not in here because that is already in the game. And then this is Denia here. As we already mentioned, she is going to be the user of Chromatic Foam, and she's going to be Amieth's premier sub DPS or support, pretty sure sub DPS. And then we don't know what her second form is yet, but based on the Echo set, we think it's highly likely that it's going to be a Toon Strain support, so she's going to be Amieth and Luke's premier sub DPSs. And then as for the weapons, we don't really have any information on these yet. We just have seen the convene animations, and then we have the pictures of them in game here, as you can see. Let's go ahead and jump down to the new main quest. So, this is something else that is also extremely good for the update. Not only do we have our premier main DPS, we're going to get Amieth. I mean, we don't know the full scope of this yet, but they said that we were going to be piloting LF1. I'm very curious to see how that looks. And then we have Hiyuki and Denya both having their own story main quests. So I would imagine kind of like the companion quests, but they classify them all as main quests now. Next, new region. As you can see here, this is a lot of exploration. I would imagine there's going to be a lot of asteroids in this, and then they also showed off some of these. So this is looking to be a very big patch. But we haven't gotten into the part of it which is actually related to the anniversary yet, where I think there's one or two things they could have done significantly better. But there was backlash for it last year, which caused them not to. I think they were listening to the loud, but the minority, I think is what ended up happening there. So I hope from all the backlash that's been received so far, they will fix it. Or will not even fix it, but I hope that they will at least have some response to it. Okay, next. These are the second anniversary events. I didn't play all that much during the first anniversary, but the event is still in the game. I personally prefer the Cube Combat event over this. This seems like it's a lot less work. This is the pinball event that was showcased during the live. If you haven't seen the live yet, I'll go ahead and link it in the description. I didn't personally react to that because I already saw so many people reacting to it that I figured this was a better way to talk about the anniversary. Next, Cube Derby. I think that this is cute, cool looking event. Some more relatively easy free asteroids, but it's not replacing the main event here, so I didn't really have any issues with it. This is probably going to be basically a login event, just like a lot of the other Lolo Express and Ice pretty much free asteroids. This is the login event that gives you 10 pulls and 10 cubes for the first half, and then another 10 pulls, and I don't remember what that second reward is for the second half of the login. This is if I remember correctly, this is one of the exploration type event things. It was related to some of the new mechanics and stuff. Illusionary Gateway is back. They've brought this back once again by popular demand. I'm very happy with that. This is another one of these events here where it's going to be going around and exploring and such and the interactive events. Okay, this is going to be the traditional boss rush, or this is a combat event where they kind of explained it's kind of like a boss rush type thing, not quite the same as some of the other stuff we've had. I'm very interested to see how this turns out. Assuming that it works out good, nice, phenomenal. I just hope that it's not time gated like our current ones are. The time gated ones I'm not a big fan of. Next, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Into the Memory program here. This isn't too bad here. Oh, oops, I forgot to mute Discord. I'm just going to leave the call there. That was just a buddy that I was in a call with. I kind of forgot he was there because he had been AFK for a good few minutes. Into the Memory program here. I mean, we don't know too much about this, but this kind of seems interesting based on all the information that they give us here in the little description about how we're going into like a digital world. I'm curious to see how that is. Probably a web event. Or did that say web event? Did that tell you up here? No, it just says new events and gameplay. This is another Lolo event here, as you can see, with his little symbol down here. These are basically log into your dailies events and get some bonus rewards. These are always nice. This is an... Okay, this is the login event here. And then, last but not least, invite your former complete tasks. This is a co-op event? Is that what this is? What is this? Invite your former companions back. Complete tasks together, receive asteroids, show credits, and more. Okay, yeah, it's basically just linking your accounts and stuff. Okay. That is the majority of everything there. That last part I just got slightly confused by. I don't think that's anything new. That's probably been there a second, or if it's not, I'm not 100% sure what that last thing is. I knew what most of the other stuff was. Okay. The two things that I think should have been there, but are not there. So, first of all, I do not think they should have gotten rid of the anniversary banners, the five people and 5 weapons on a half for the anniversary, or at least a 2.3 anniversary. I don't think that those should have went bye-bye. I definitely think we should have kept those. Beyond that, I definitely think they should have given us a way to get first year 5-star, excluding like Shorekeeper, because the first year 5-stars have not reran at all for the most part since last year's anniversary, meaning that for the most part they've been highly unobtainable for a good majority of the player base. So I think it would be extremely good for them to either have a first year 5-star selector with slightly limited options, so no Shorekeeper and maybe no 1 or 2 other characters. But I think that they should give you some way to access these first year characters for the anniversary, whether that be including some of them in like the 5 banner system that I think should have been back again this year, but as of right now is not, though everything is subject to change until they actually release the update, of course. Beyond that, as I said, the 5-star selector was the main thing. The 5-star selector for first year characters, excluding 1 or 2 characters such as Shorekeeper, I think definitely should have been there. I feel like the characters have not been reran in so long. I don't think anybody except for grifting people would be mad about letting people who are newer to the game obtaining first year characters. But these are my general thoughts on the anniversary. If you had anything you'd like to know or any other video ideas that you'd like me to put out, feel free to leave them in the comments. Everyone have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so there was one or two things I wanted to go ahead and cover real quick directly from the live stream. So first of all, this is the pinball event that I was showing you guys earlier in the game. And then the other thing I wanted to go ahead and cover is, so this is from the rebate event. So you get some of this for pulling and then some of this for doing general activities. This is another activity event or whatever where you earn points, and then throughout that you get the 10 basic pulls and the 10 weapon pulls. This is the login event, and then this is the other login event here. So, at a bare minimum, not including any of the asteroids, you are getting 35 limited character pulls, 10 limited weapon pulls, and 15 standard pulls. And then we are slated to get, I think it's somewhere around 10k asteroid, which means that throughout the update, we're going to be getting somewhere between like 150 and 170 pulls. However you want to split that up is the estimate. Of course, this could always vary slightly higher or slightly lower based on a few different things, but I would imagine it's probably going to stay towards the higher end of that with all the exploration and such. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was the last thing I wanted to cover. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys this page here. Let me go ahead and that was not the right one. Where is, okay, there we go. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys here. This is the other login reward right here. You guys couldn't see these because my avatar was blocking them. So I wanted to go ahead and show you those. But beyond that, I just wanted to show you guys the exact rewards that we were getting directly in the live stream, so you knew I wasn't talking out my butt here. And I hope you guys have a good day.